So this demo shows you how to create remote regions. We have a task flow that has one page. It's basically a page fragment. This is the task flow. And what we're going to do is we're going to double click the project, go into project properties, and we're going to specify that this project is actually supporting producing this task flow for others to consume. We also check the ability to invoke those without authentication. Once you did this, if you go into the overview of your task flow, you'll see a new checkbox called Remote Invocable. You can check this box for any task flow you want other people to be able to invoke. And you also need to set the data control to be isolated, so not shared with another containing page. Once you do this, you can actually run your project. This is the producer project. In our case, we have a page. Inside this page, we have the task flow embedded as a region, and you can see the functionality over here. So this is now a deployed application on our server. What we're going to do next is actually consume this from another project. So we're going to switch over to another application, okay? And inside here, in the project properties, we're going to say we want to actually consume remote regions. Okay, so click that checkbox, and once you did this, you'll be able to go into your application resources and define a new type of connection. This would be a connection to a remote region producer. Give a name to this remote region producer, and what you need next is the URL to the application. So just go to your application and copy the context, okay? Put it in there, and at the end you need the RTF query, remote task flow query URL. Test the connection, make sure it works, and then in the second part you need the RR for remote region. That's the invocation point for your remote regions. So once you define this connection, you can now from inside it take and drag over regions to other pages. So for example, we're taking the region we exposed and putting it into the task flow we exposed, putting it as a region inside another page. As you can see, you can pass parameters at this stage if you need to. Let's save this and actually run the page. So this is our consumer page. It consumes a task flow that has been running on, in this case, the same server, but it can also be another server. So let's see how it performs. When the page comes up, we'll see the specific task flow, just like any other task flow included in our page. Now, an interesting thing to do at this stage would be to go over back into JDeveloper and stop and basically undeploy the producer, okay, like that. If we now go back into the browser and refresh the URL, okay, you can see that we can't access the other task flow, but the page still works. Okay. If we now go back into the task flow, okay, so this is again the producer, and let's remove one of the columns from the table. Okay. And now we can save everything and redeploy the application. So again, we're redeploying the producer in this case. So we'll switch over to the producer, rerun the page. So this would basically deploy the application. And at this point, this new functionality, which we will be able to see here, is going to be available for the other page as well. So if we go back to that page and we'll refresh it, so we'll click here on the refresh button, okay, we can now see the task flow again inside that page, and now we only have one column in the table. So we were able to pick up the changes without the need to create a library and bring it into our project. So this is remote task flows.